Hi, good morning. Day 3. Paul McMullen, Larry Eder, here for the Running Network. How you doing this morning, Larry?
Doing pretty good. Awake. Had a great day yesterday, and I'm looking forward to today.
All right, great. We want to say a special thanks to a couple of people that are making contributions and explain one of the reasons why we don't have video footage. Larry?
First of all, we want to thank Victor Saylor and his crew with Photo Run. They do the photos for all of the Running Network publications. We're using their photos because NBC does not allow us to use any live coverage or shoots from the track or athletes during competition. They're the big Olympic sponsor, and we had to sign a 12-part contract that said that we wouldn't use that or they'd take our firstborn male child. So we're trying to be, careful about that.
All right, well, we're following the rules. We're not going to bootleg anything out there, but we definitely want to cover some of the spectacular things that happened yesterday. To lead off, it's the 100-meter men. 6 men under the 10-minute barrier. What did you see yesterday, Larry?
Well, I think that our friend Tyson Gay fully executed his race. In 48 hours, he's gone from agony to ecstasy. And he had a great start. His acceleration was superb in 9:68, which is the fastest under any conditions ever. The wind was 4.1, aided wind. And right after the race, you watch the flags drop. So the winds had been swirling during the race and they had dropped. We had very strange winds yesterday.
Yeah, very strange. And it should be noted that Obadiah Thompson, 9:69 down in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it was estimated that the wind speed was over 5 meters per second, and that's so now we're looking at our fastest conditions ever. Also, Tyson Gay looked at what the future is going to hold. He's going to take on the Jamaicans in London. All 3 are confirmed. Should be a great race. All right, the other thing we saw yesterday was the decathlon. Decathlon started off with a great first day.
Yeah, Brian Clay won 2 events. He won the 100, and then he came back and won the high jump. And Tom Pappas won the shot put with a huge personal best, actually 2, you were telling me. And then he also came back and won the long jump. So he's looking very, very good. And Trey Hardy had his best first day ever. Yeah. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, big throw by Tom Pappas. It was 20. Wait, no, I'm sorry. His long jump was 25.6, and then his shot put was 47.5. So just, I'm sorry, 57.5. Just huge throws for the big guy. Didn't get off the ground very well on the high jump, but all of them are within 71 points of each other. Should be a great second day of the decathlon. Weather's gorgeous. Should be a lot of fun. All right, the pole vault yesterday. We saw a very elder statesman, as well as the American record holder and also a newcomer come along, deal with very swirling winds. I was hoping you could tell us about it, Larry.
Well, Derek Miles has had some physical conditions over the last few years. In 2004, he had qualified for the team, and he's had 3 pretty rough years. He ended up winning the trials. He looked fabulous. But the winds were so weird that we watched Walker and Miles twice just take their poles and throw them onto the pits because they couldn't complete. They couldn't execute. Jeff Hartwig has had a really terrible history since 1996 of not making the World Championship teams and not making Olympic teams. And he did it. The guy's going to be 41 in September, so it's pretty darn amazing with him. And then Walker, who I misidentified in my American Track and Field magazine last issue, and I had to put a great apology, and we threw another picture up. He's the American record holder. When he knew he made the team, he said that was all he needed for the day because the conditions were insane. It was very, very tough.
Yeah, insane. We summed it up with when you leave the start and head down the runway towards the pit, you may get a headwind, you may get a tailwind, but the problem is you can't change your pole halfway down. So I saw a lot of the guys wiggle and wriggle their way over the line, and some of them barely made it into the pit. And in 2 cases, they just chucked the pole, say, forget this, I'm not even going anywhere near it. I'll end up on my head and in the hospital before I know it. So very challenging conditions, but I think 3 great representatives going over to Beijing. And the last thing we want to talk about is how close the competition is, especially in the 400-meter hurdles, and what it means to be able to run towards the line. I thought over the last hurdle, we saw a big change in the 400-meter women's hurdles, and I was hoping you could tell us about it, Larry.
Tiffany Ross-Williams has a new aggressiveness, and she and Lashinda Demas, they both went to South Carolina, were neck and neck with 1 hurdle to go. Ross-Williams started to take the lead. Demas started to fall back. Demas was passed by Queen Harrison from Virginia Tech, and from Sheena Tosta, the farmer Sheena Johnson, who had set the record at the trials in 2004. The difference between 3rd and 4th was 0.14 seconds. That's how close this meet is. It is definitely the hardest team to make.
My favorite performance yesterday, Tiffany Ross-Williams, 5 foot of fast. And we're looking for some great stuff tonight. The weather's awesome. We got our 5K final. We got our 800 final, women and men. I'm a Michigan fan. We got 4 girls from Michigan in the final of the Olympic trials in the 800, and should just turn out to be a great day. And we're also going to close up and find out who America's greatest athlete is heading to Beijing. So thank you so much for watching with us. From myself, Paul McMullen, and Larry Eder.
And on Wisconsin. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, and Wisconsin. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.